Hey Ben, how are you? I am just doing some testing here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Just making sure that this new setup that I'm using is working. Let me take a look over here. Oh man, GitHub settings. Nope. All right. And that shows me as being live, and 7 people are watching me there as well. Okay, well, Brendan West, how are you, man? Glad to have you here. Sorry, this was kind of an impromptu thing that I'm doing here. Um, Yesterday, when I did my live stream, I used Restream.io to handle streaming to both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, and and I didn't like it. I mean, it was fine, but it didn't really do it for me. So what I'm trying to do right now is get Streamlabs OBS to work and do what I want or need it to do. And I don't know how that's going yet. Because I was really hoping, can we do it over here maybe? Will that work? Click here to grant permissions. Yeah, that's fine. Authorize. Yes, I understand that. Authorize. Sorry, give me just a second here. I really appreciate you guys being patient with me. That says I'm all set. Open Streamlabs desktop. I'm already there. Let's see. And that is that, and that isn't helping. Where are you? Come on. Looks like, sorry guys, this, can you tell me a fact to get, Ben J says, wait, can you tell me a fact to get subscribers? You mean just like in general, how to get subscribers like on your YouTube channel? I guess that's what you're asking. I'm not sure. Error granting permissions. That wasn't helpful. Let's try this again. Man, I've got so many tabs open. Seems a bit goofy. Being resource hungry was... Okay, so Mr. Grey Wolf says Streamlabs OBS has always been a bit goofy. I believe that. I'm not super worried about resources at this point. Like this machine, like if I pull this up, I don't even know if this is gonna work. What is this? That doesn't help me at all. Let's do that one. Because I can't, man, yeah, that was from when I did that. All right, here we go. So sorry, I'm dragging stuff around here. So I'm not super worried about resources here with this setup. Anyways, what I was trying to get at. Let's do that. Man, I really wish, sorry, I've got editor maybe? Oh, there we go. That's better. Okay. Okay, let me try this again. So sorry, okay, let me go back. Ben J asked, can you tell me a fact to get subscribers? Yes. A few things. One, your audio is just as, if not more important than your video, right? So you don't have to go out and break the bank to get a good audio setup. Like I've got this Hollyland setup here that this is wireless, right? And I can connect that to my phone or an interface or my computer or whatever, and I can clip it onto my shirt and it works really well. Or you can get, like I've got a microphone up here. So your audio, super important. But more than that, make content about things that you're interested in. If the content you're trying to cover isn't interesting to you, it will show in your videos. And if people can see that you're not interested in what you're doing, then they're not going to want to follow you. Can you use a normal camera? That I post on iPad. Ooh, iPad makes it rough for me to try to give advice because I don't have one. I don't use one. In fact, I haven't had an iPad in a really long time. Well, I haven't had a usable iPad in a really long time. I've got one of the first or second gen iPads from way back in the day, but it doesn't really count. Um, so I can't really help you with that, unfortunately. Um, so let's see. A couple of things that I'm trying to figure out here. Um, 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 Sorry. So what I'm trying to do here is figure out how to get the best looking interface when like people are chatting. Like I'm trying to get a chat box set up here on the screen. I don't know what the delay is going to be like on that on YouTube versus Twitch. Okay, so JD, so it is showing up over here on the screen now. Okay. I think if we had more people chatting, that would be easier. That's fine. This is a me issue, not a you issue. Duke Seb says, "Hey DB, hey Duke, how are you? Glad to have you here." JD says, "Good morning, chat and DB." Ben J says, "There's a plus button you can use." I don't know what that means. I wish I had more information about that. It's really easy with CapCut. I believe that. I've seen a lot of creators using CapCut. So I definitely believe that. Wow. Oh crap. Sorry, just noticing little things that I got to fix. But what I can say is that I think Streamlabs OBS is going to work just fine for me. I'm still trying to get. Sorry, I'm just going to do something here. Test. I'm just going to send that because that came through there. Is it also going to come through over here? It did. That is great. Okay, cool. That at least tells me that I can chat over there and not have to have all of this other stuff up and running. So that's good. I'm really stoked to see that. Auto 480. What? Let's bump that. That's better. Okay. I know, right? 3 days of DB. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna. So Saturday when I streamed, I mean, both Saturday and Sunday I wanted to stream. Saturday I just hadn't streamed in a while and really wanted to. Yesterday I wanted to kind of get into the dual stream, multi-stream kind of thing with YouTube and Twitch. And it went fine for the couple hours that I was on, but I wasn't really happy with like the interface and how things were popping up on the screen or weren't popping up on the screen, that sort of thing. So yeah, I wanted to test out Streamlabs desktop just to make sure that I can do what I need to do. Yeah, Ben, I can't help you. Like you can give me all of the text in the world. I don't have an iPad. I don't like the only device I have is an iPhone 10 that I use periodically for my teleprompter. But as far as like creating content and editing content and all of that kind of stuff on an iPad, CapCut, all of that, I can't help. I'm sorry. I can't help you with that. I don't know how to get content from an Apple device to a desktop, whether that is on PC or Mac OS or whatever the case is. I can't. I'm not the guy to help you with that, unfortunately. Yeah, and I agree with what Brennan there says. You'd probably have to get an app for editing. I think CapCut might do it, but again, I don't know for sure. Just because again, I don't use an iDevice. See, hidden space. What software hardware do you use to protect your home lab services? A couple of different things, really. So, like I've got an Omada network set up from the firewall. Like all the way for the initial setup of that is in the living room, and then it connects back here to more Omada stuff. So it's got a built-in firewall with intrusion prevention or detection and prevention. But I don't do any port forwarding specifically to access anything. Most everything I do is all of my remote access is handled through Cloudflare tunnels. It has been for the last couple of years, and I can restrict access to a lot of that via IP addresses or having to log in with a Google account or a GitHub account or any of that kind of stuff. That is how I've been doing it for a while. I've looked into other solutions. In fact, made a video about a SafeLine web application firewall a while back. It was fine, but there were some things about it I didn't like. Covered that in the video. But prior to that, I've used things like Traffic, and I've used Nginx Proxy Manager, and they did fine. But I also still used Cloudflare's DNS management to help do things like IP obfuscation. So, like if you if you ping, like dbtechreviews.com, it's going to give you a Cloudflare IP address, not my IP address, right? So I've been using Cloudflare in some capacity for more than a decade, specifically with DNS management and that sort of thing for IP obfuscation. But yeah, so I've been using Cloudflare tunnels for the last couple of years anyway in my home lab, and it's been great. I've never had an issue with it. Let's see. How do you react to the stream? It depends on what platform you're on. If you're on YouTube, like right under the chat, there should be like a little heart that you can click and tap those if you wanted to go that route. Or use lightning cable is, yep. Use Casa OS with the Ars apps, Nord and Plex. Am I at risk exposing my IP address? So if you're using a VPN for the RStack, you should be fine, as long as you've got it set up so that the apps don't have any connectivity to the internet without your VPN. You should be fine. I've made a few different videos about that. As far as Plex is concerned, running Plex itself isn't an issue. It's not. I mean, it's a legal program. You can buy a license to it. If you're sharing your Plex setup, it might honestly just be easier to get like their lifetime pass for something like that. It's kind of spendy when it's not on sale, but if you've got Plex Pass, you don't have to do port forwarding or anything like that to give other people access to your Plex server. That includes yourself when you're out and about doing stuff. You can just log into the Plex app and access it that way. So you should be fine. Home Assistant Tips by Larry says, thanks for the video on setting up gluten on Casa OS. Glad it helped. It was kind of a pain to figure out at first. That's why I wanted to make that video, was to help people on Casa OS, because there's not really a clear way to do that. Last time I checked, it was still a bit finicky, but I'm glad it's working. Brendan says, I've had troubles with API endpoints in my Cloudflare Tunnel apps. I have to bypass the URI paths for an API. Yeah, and that is kind of one of the problems when you go with a third-party solution like that, is you kind of got to go by their terms, and I could see how that might be an issue with Cloudflare. Cool, thanks for the info. Just downloading the app is going through gluten. I mean, you might want to run your R apps through gluten just as an extra precaution, just for an additional layer of plausible deniability, if we're being honest there. You've got the lifetime pass. That's cool. So yeah, you should just be able to, you shouldn't have to forward port 32,400 or whatever it is for Plex. If you've got Plex Pass, you can just log into your account remotely and it will all go through Plex's infrastructure. I've been doing that for the last couple of years and it's been fine. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Have you ever watched lives? I don't know if I ever watched lives. I don't know what that means, Ben J. Hidden Spaces, I was already aware of all those services, partly thanks to you, but I was curious to see if there's anything new to tinker with. Thank you very much for your response. Surprise stream, what's going on? Yeah, Collins. So this was JD's funny. So what I'm doing here is testing out um, a different platform for multi-streaming. Yesterday when I did the live stream, I used Restream.io, and it was fine. But there were a lot of things that I couldn't do easily. So this morning I decided I would jump on with Streamlabs, OBS, and test that out and see how multi-streaming works with that. And I actually like it a lot. I was very easily able to do, I've got all of the chat over here in my window, and that's going fine. But I've also got chat popping up on the screen, like we kind of talked about yesterday, which is it's a gamble because I don't know if somebody's going to say or do something stupid. I hope not. I would like to think that my audience wouldn't do something like that, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Oh man, I definitely needed that. So yeah, like this was mostly just kind of to jump in and see. Can I switch this? Quality auto. Let's do that. That's fine. So yeah, this stream was mostly just to test out and make sure that Streamlabs desktop version 1.17 was going to work for what I need it to work for. And I'm streaming to, again, both YouTube and Twitch, and that seems to be going well. Though I do need to change the hashtags in the YouTube video because it grabbed something in here with Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that kind of stuff in there as well. So let's get rid of all of this. Everything else in there is fine. That's not true. There we go. That's better. So yeah, I think this is gonna work. I think this will be all right. Without. Okay, Ben. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. All right. So. No, let's close out a bunch of this stuff. So this morning, one of the other things that I wanted to take a look at today, possibly while we're here, because I thought this might be something fun to try once I get some of this stuff cleaned up. Close that, and that's fine. Let me drag this over to here, and drag this over to here, and bring this back up. Go. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to take a look at in a bit more depth, let's try this, see what happens. Hey, that looks okay. I'll be damned. This actually seems to be working fairly well. Something is going to go wrong. I can just tell. So yesterday, Saturday, must have been Saturday, during the live stream, somebody had brought up taking a look at Tianji. We talked about it a little bit yesterday as well. Sorry, I got to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Geez. So I thought it would be kind of cool if we just kind of took a look at this together. I've messed with it a little bit, but I want to give it another look and thought we could just hang out together and kind of look through this and talk about it a little bit and that sort of thing. So Tianji, like it says here, it's an all-in-one insight hub that includes website analytics, uptime monitor, server status, and more. You can get started in the cloud, or you can deploy it yourself with Docker Compose, where you can do a wget and then a Docker Compose up-d. Don't do that; that's a bad idea. But what you can do, pretty safely, I think, is go there, and we can then take a look at the Docker Compose here, and I think this is just a fine way to look at things. It looks like it's just got two services. This is weird to have both an image and a build. That seems unnecessary. Allow open API, true or false. Allow register, true or false. Replace with it. So this seems, pretty straightforward. You could probably get away with just doing a wget and a download or a deploy, but again, don't really want to do that. So let's take a look at this. And like I said, I looked at it a little bit earlier, but we're just going to start over from scratch, take a look at this, and then kind of go through it together for whoever wants to hang out and chat about it. That is awesome. We're going to do Tianji Live. There we go. Jacek, I apologize if I screwed that up. Thanks for joining. Glad to have you here. We're just kind of hanging out, taking a look at Tianji, which is a website analytics and uptime monitor and all kinds of stuff, all rolled into one. So we're going to click start and get this going. James Collins says, interesting. Looks like today is faster than Twitch. YouTube is faster than Twitch. Oh. Enjoy, James. I will chat with you later. Also, it's because I changed the latency on the YouTube stream for this. So that's why it's at least keeping up with Twitch today. It's because I changed the latency, like we talked about yesterday. So, if we go back over, this is just my Proxmox environment. This is my test environment where I don't run anything for very long in here if I don't have to. But let's take a look. We've got this Docker Compose here that we can take a look at. We could, if we wanted to, run these two commands and bring the application up that way. I'm just not a big fan of doing that. So what I want to do is just come over to here. We're going to do this. We're going to do copy. We're going to do port. Darn it. Port. Yeah. Wow. There it is, 9443. It is chilly in here. My fingers are not working properly. It is. Hey, it's come up to 57 degrees in here. So that is warmer than when I first came in here. So I'm gonna go to stacks. I'm gonna add a new stack here, and then I want to go back and look at this Docker Compose. We got this URL from over here on their homepage, which I appreciate that being there. But I'm just gonna copy this and bring it over here to Portainer, and we're gonna make some changes. But first, I want to give it a name, like so. I really feel like, because they've got this image right here. Oh yeah, hey look, we already looked at this recently. Yeah, so this has just been updated a couple of days ago. There are different tags that we could use here, whether it's latest or a specific version. For the sake of doing some testing, man, I guess Steam is open. Let's fix that. Exit Steam. Yes. All right. So because we've got this Moonrailgun / Tianji, we've got a latest tag. I'm just going to add latest to this because there's really, if there's a pre-built image, there's no need to build an image. So that's weird to me. Also, I took off the version 3 that's up here at the top of the default Docker Compose. This isn't, with the new version of Docker Compose, you don't need the version, so we're not going to use the version. We're just going to take the version off of the top of the Docker Compose. So we've got two services. We've got the Tianji and we've got the Postgres. We've got our Tianji image configured based on the latest tag, port 12345. I actually appreciate that. So many developers use like port 8000 or 8005 or 8000 or 8080 or whatever, right? But just 12345. Never seen another app use it. Probably don't need to change it. Probably good to go. So we've got a database and a URL to connect to a PostgreSQL database with a username and a password and a database. So definitely change the username, password, change all of these. Well, don't change the database. That one's probably fine. But the username and the password are up here. So change all of those accordingly. Then we've got JWT secret. This is going to be for just for like logging in, that sort of stuff, to set encryption for cookies. So I'm just going to replace that with a long string. Allow register is false. I don't want to use Open API for this, so I'm going to set this to false. If you want to know more information about that, so basically it offers an open API interface, providing seamless integration and extensive functionality for developers. And if you click there, then you can get more information. Sort of, well, so anyway, I don't want to use Open API because they don't have a lot of information about it at this point. So I'm going to set that to false. Nope, I'm going to set that to false. Not falser, just false. There we go. So that's what we're going to do there. Depends on Postgres. So we want to make sure that the Postgres database is up and running before the Tianji container does anything. So that's what that is for. Restart of always, which is fine. I'm going to say unless stopped for both of those, just because I always like to do unless stopped instead of always. Because if I go in and I stop this myself, I don't want it to automatically come back up if my server reboots or whatever the case is. I want to be in control of how this starts and stops. So I'm going to set it to unless stopped so that it doesn't come back up automatically. So that's all fine. So next we've got our Postgres database, which is Postgres 15.4-alpha. Our environment is a database, a username and a password. Again, change the username and password. We've got a volume down here for that, for the Postgres database, which is a Docker volume, which is right here. And it is actually declared down here at the bottom as well. So you can change that if you need to. You shouldn't need to unless you're redeploying like a new version. And then you can just go delete this volume from over here. Or you can create a new volume, however you want to handle that. Either way works. Again, we've already messed with the restart policy, and then we've got a health check that's going to run about every 5 seconds to make sure that everything is working appropriately, and then we'll act accordingly if it's not. So from there, we can just click on deploy the stack. I'll give this a few minutes to do what it's going to do, and just kind of see how things go. Let's see, general chat. I'm just curious. Hey, that actually did come up, didn't it? All right. Sorry. I've got so many different things going on in the background. Like now that I'm trying to do this dual stream thing over on Twitch and YouTube, I've got like automations going on in the background, actually on the server back there, to send out notifications to different platforms to let people know that I've got a video up or that I'm live streaming or whatever. But now that I look at that, I'm going to have to do something different there. And that's fine. So let's see. Man, you know what I'm noticing? Okay, so I can do that. That's interesting. Do 23 watching. Man, that's not helpful. We have 5 over there. Let's do that. Man, okay, so this is definitely taking a little bit of time to deploy. I didn't bother to check to see how big these images were. So the latest 674 megs for the Tianji image there. So it might take, obviously it's going to take a little while. And then of course I don't know what the Postgres database is going to be. There it goes, finally. All right. So so the Postgres is starting. Tianji is running. It shouldn't be, I don't think. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so, I saw an error in there. We're going to give this a second. The other thing, I guess, while that's coming up, the other thing I want to do is set my environment variable for this. Just the IP address of my node or my Portainer instance, just so that I can just click right there and have it go to the right spot. But I don't think this is actually going to do anything. Yeah, error connection refused. So everything's running now. So let's go back and take a look at our logs here. Let's stop the auto refresh there, and let's take a look and see if we notice anything. Okay. The Open API key, or OpenAI API key environment variable is missing or empty. Either provide it or instantiate the OpenAI client with an API option like Open AI. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come back over to my stack. I'm going to go into the editor, and then I'm going to go to Tianji. I'm going to go right below this open API key, or this allow open API. Oops. And then I'm just going to throw in a random number. It's set to false, so it tells me that there is likely something wrong with basically, if this is set to false, then don't look for this other thing. I don't know how that would be done. Again, I'm not a developer in that sense. So I'm just going to throw something in to bypass that nonsense. I'm going to click update the stack and then click update. Wow. Yeah, I apologize. I'm not good with the Cyrillic. So in order for me to find out what you just said, I'm going to go play.google.com, detect language, translate. Oh, hi. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I just did a translate over here in Google. It says, hi, really like your videos. I learned about interesting services and installed them on my server. That's cool. Thank you for letting me know. I apologize that my Cyrillic isn't great. Never really got into learning that one. All right, let's go back into here. Okay, hey, this is different. This is good. This is much different than we saw a moment ago. So I'm going to click right here. Hey, look. Okay, so by default, in fact, I think it even says.
Sounds like you're having a conversation and are excited about something you learned from a
video. Whoa, chill. Google's being dumb. I don't know what it was doing there, but let's go back to somewhere over here. Oh yeah, username or default account is admin. So that's what we're going to enter is admin. Oops. And admin, like so. We're going to click OK. That's fine. We're not going to save that. And here we go. So there's really not a ton going on here, and I don't think there will be. So the idea behind this, right, is to, say we're on website by default. If we click plus, we can put in, like dbtechreviews.com. And I'll just paste that down here as well and click create. So then we get this, right? And this isn't super helpful, but if we click code, we can see that this is the code that we would put in the head of our website. I'm gonna minimize this. I don't know if you can read that, but it's not letting me zoom. Weird. Anyway, but it says, grab this JavaScript tracker from this IP address. And if this is what we put in our website and our dbtechreviews.com, this isn't going to work. So in order to get this to work, we're going to have to make this remotely accessible, put this on a domain. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm just going to come over here. I apologize. Some of this I got to do off screen. I apologize for that. Let me just do this, at least for right now. Man, sometimes, man, my brain just cloudflare.com. There we go. We're going to use a tunnel for this once I get all signed up or signed in over here. No, don't do that. You suck. There it is. Log in, verify. There we go. So rather than doing this with this IP address, what I want to do is come back over to my stacks. I'm going to create a new stack. I'm going to do dbt. We'll just come into here. I've got a Docker Compose in here for not that one. Cloudflare. Tunnels, Docker Compose. This is the Docker Compose that I'm looking for. This is just going to allow me to do this. And basically what I'll be able to do, in fact, I can bring this over here. So this is the new I say new. This is my Cloudflare account. This is for my demo account. There's nothing important attached to this. But I'm going to go into Zero Trust for this, and then I'm going to go to Networks, and then I'm going to create a new tunnel. I'm going to use Cloudflare. I don't want to use the Warp connector. Oops, I need to do that. There we go. I screwed that up. I apologize. So this is Cloudflare. Let's go back to the beginning just so that if you wanted to, you can follow along. This is my account. There's really nothing much in here. I don't check that email address very often. There's just nothing in here I need to worry about. So I'm going to click Zero Trust, right? And then I'm not going to worry about that message up there for right now. What I'm going to do is click Networks, and I'm going to create a tunnel. And then I'm going to click Cloudflare. I don't want to use the Warp connector. That's a different protocol, basically. But I'm going to select Cloudflare. I'm going to call this T-on-G Live. That way I know that once this live stream is over, I can go in and get rid of some of this. So the next thing I want to do is just, I could come over here and click Docker, and it's going to give me this Docker run command to work with. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm just going to come down. Because at the end of that command is this token. And that's the token that we need for this. I can also do this. And I can click on deploy the stack. And we'll just kind of hang out and let this do its thing. And we'll actually be able to see a couple of things happen, right? When the Docker Compose over on this side for the Cloudflare tunnel deploys, over here, this connector where it says no connectors installed, will change just like that. And it did, so we're good. So what I want to do is click on next. I'm going to give this a subdomain. I'm going to call it TJ Live just for the sake of it. I'm going to select my domain. I'm going to select HTTP. And then I want to come over to here. This is our T-on-G instance that we were just looking at. I'm going to copy the IP address and the port. Oops. Come on, don't do this. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to paste that in. So it's just the IP address and the port like so, and click Save. Here in just a moment, if all things go well, then I can come back over to page 2, click on T-on-G Live, and click on Edit, and click on Public Hostname, and click on that, and then click there. And there we go. Neat. All right, so the next thing I want to do real quick here, now that I think about it, that I should have done first is change my password. And click Submit. There we go. Cool, now we're logged in, and we should be good to go. So, again, I've got this DB-Tech reviews that we added, but if I click this, oops, hold on, am I in the wrong window? Did I really do that? I sure did. Cool, now let's try that again. Okay, so if I click View Details over here and then click Code up here, we can see that now we've got tjlive.dbtech.dev/tracker.js, and that tells me that our URL is working. Everything there looks fine. So my next step will be to do... And I Solid Snake says I don't like Cloudflare tunnels because they act as a man in the middle. I get that. Oops, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like it genuinely, like unless you're doing something illegal, unless you are breaking the law with their service, they don't care about your traffic, right? They're allowing people to use their service for free, so that they can train their algorithms on traffic behavior, basically. So they don't care about your traffic. They don't care about my traffic. They don't care about basically anybody's traffic. So yes, they could. They absolutely could do a man-in-the-middle attack on your stuff. But the reality is neither you nor I are important enough, I'm assuming, for them to give a damn about what we're transmitting. And look, and that is, I know that that's very much the mindset of, well, if you don't have anything to hide, then what's the big deal? I get that. I do. I've been using them for years, and it's never been an issue, right? So, totally understand where you're coming from. It just, I don't share the same opinion on that. So, let's jump back over to here. Let's jump over to my desktop. And this is dbtechreviews.com. And so I've got this WP headers and footers script. What I want to do is just grab this right here, come over to here, and paste that in just like so. And then scroll down, click Save Changes. And just like that, we've added that tracking script from Tianji over to dbtechreviews.com. And if I click Close and refresh, we're already getting traffic, which is great. Absolutely love it. We can actually see what page that person is on. They're how to install Cloud Commander. They got here from Google. That's pretty cool. Their browser is Chrome. Their OS is Windows. Their device is a laptop. Looks like they're probably in Spain. I would assume anyway, visitor map. Yeah, look at that right there. That's pretty cool. I actually hadn't got that far into, like when I was digging through this earlier, I actually hadn't gotten that far to view the visitor map. So let's go ahead and do a refresh again one more time. Cool. Nothing to worry about there. So again, that's how easy it is to get that set up and click, just add and put in a name and a URL, and then it will give you a piece of code to use. Oops. Nope. Yeah, it'll just give you a little piece of code there to use, and you can start tracking the traffic on your websites. So that's pretty cool. We've got monitors. Let's take a look at monitors real quick. So how do we want to, or what do we want to monitor? How do we want to monitor it? Right, we can do ping, TCP report, DNS, HTTP, OpenAI, or custom. I'm going to do HTTP. I'm going to call it DB Tech Reviews. I'm going to have it check every 60 seconds. Max retries will be 3. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to grab this. We're just going to put that in there. Let's see the method. I could do a get. I could also do a head. Let's just do head. Head's fine. Ignore TLS SSL errors. That's fine. Application type, text HTML. Preset headers, default fetch headers. That should be fine. And then a trending mode. Basically, this is y-axis will not start from 0 if you use trending mode. Don't want to do that. And then notifications. I don't have any notifications set up. Let's come back to that later, though. We're going to click Create. And here we are. DB Tech Reviews 10%. Edit, stop, show badge. Oh, that's kind of cool, where you can actually embed that. Oh, and it'll show the error or the status. That's pretty neat. I actually hadn't seen that before. Huh. So you got HTML, Markdown, BBC or BB code, and URL directly to that. That's pretty cool. Let's refresh just to see. Okay, it's up. That's good. Where does someone operate with customers data for work and demonstrate something? Sorry. So Solid Snake says, what if someone operates with somebody's data for work and demonstrates something? They shouldn't be demonstrating anything with anybody else's work. That's a privacy violation for the demonstration, unless they've signed something in their contract to allow their data to be shown in a demonstration. That's a bad idea. You should never use somebody else's data for your demonstrations without their explicit permission. You should always have demo data to show when you're doing demonstrations. It's just or you set something up that's live, but is only live for the sake of demonstrative data. You don't use a customer's data to demonstrate anything. That's a huge violation. Monitors. Again, we can edit, we can stop. What do we have over here? Show badge, test, notify. Again, we don't have notifications set up yet. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to kind of go through some other stuff real quick. Servers, we can take a look at servers because it looks like we can get some decent data: status, node name, host name, uptime, load, network, traffic, CPU, RAM, hard drive, and updated at. And let's click add. And just like that, you can install, uninstall, or restart. That's cool. When I was messing with this earlier, I didn't see the uninstall or the restart option there. And I appreciate that they've got that. There's also a manual option where you could run, you could do some of this stuff. We're not going to do that. We're going to do auto. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come back over to my demo page here. This is the server that we're on, this Tianji Live, and I'm just going to paste that in and hit go. So this is actually pulling the file from my own server. Basically, it is pulling from itself. Cool. Tianji Reporter started down here after it's gone through and built all of that. I really should close this window. Otherwise, I'm going to keep confusing myself. Cool, we'll click continue. And hey, look, there it is. Online, Tianji Live, uptime 25 minutes. That's about how long we've been going for that. The load, 0.18. Network, upload and download. Traffic, upload and download. CPU, RAM, that's all cool. I dig that. But if we click over here, we can see what Docker containers are actually running on that node. That's pretty cool. I dig that a lot. Of course, this doesn't update on the fly. So let's do that. There we go. So that's cool. I dig that you can actually see individually what's going on. You can see the CPU and memory and traffic usage of each of the different containers on there. That's pretty neat. Telemetry. So this is okay. So like this is how this works, right? Let's do DB Tech Reviews PDM, right? So if I click create, this doesn't really show us anything. And what you can do is come up here to the top right where it says usage. And like, for instance, you could use this URL, or this right here. Let's see, if your article supports raw HTML, you can do this. And you can click advanced. So there are some different things that you can do here. If your article supports raw HTML, you can insert it here. So we can use either a GIF or a badge.svg. I haven't tested this one, so let's do that. We're going to come over here to posts, Proxmox Data Center. We'll just do this. This is in the back end of DB Tech Reviews. So let's just come down to here. We'll go down to there, and then, oops, nope, we're going to do this. Click here. We're going to insert an image from a URL. We're going to click enter and click enter. And I'm going to click save. I don't know if that actually did anything. We'll see. That might just be like an invisible tracking cookie or a tracking kind of thing. So let's, can I do it this way? Yeah, so there's nothing there. So we're going to click on get. Let's refresh this and see what happens. There we go. Okay, so that is just kind of an invisible cookie, a little invisible tracker. So that's interesting. We can see where both of those hits came from. One was DB Tech Reviews, one was our dashboard here. Peter says, greetings from a very chilly Montreal, Canada. Happy to have you here, Peter. Glad to have some more company while I'm digging through some of this Tianji stuff. It is, I don't know what it is in real people degrees, but it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 4 degrees warmer than when I started in here. So we took a look. We added that GIF, right? This one right here. Let's use this SVG instead, just because we can actually see it when we do that. Oops. Oops, come on. There we go. Let's do this. We're going to add an image here as well. We're going to insert from a URL. We're going to paste in that SVG URL there. And here we can actually see visitor equals 4 in this particular case. Let's get rid of that one and click save. Okay, sorry, I'm going to come back to that, but I'm going to refresh this just real quick. And now we can see visitor is 7. Can't really click that, which is fine. But if we come back over here and click on get, let's go ahead. Let's scroll back up. Let's click refresh. 10, there we go. And we can see again where these are coming from. So you could, if you really wanted to, put little page counters on the bottom of your pages, just like back in the good old days when we did like GeoCities and that sort of thing with our visitor counters. And we kept refreshing the page to see the number go up, even though it was just us doing it. Peter says it feels like negative 19 degrees Celsius. That is too cold. Because I know 0 is 32, so 19 has got to be like well below 0. Screw that. Not interested in that at all. Michael DeWitt says, greetings from South Africa. Dude, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you being here. Really do. So cool. That is telemetry kind of in a nutshell. I'm sure it can do more than that. Just a couple of examples. Pages. We don't have any pages. So if we click on pages, we click on add pages. We'll just call this default. We're going to call this default. Like so. So basically what pages are is kind of, let's click over here. Select our monitor of DB Tech reviews, show the latest value. I think that's really all we've got in here. Select monitor, DB Tech reviews. Yeah, okay. So the idea here is that if we click that, and then can we just do this? Yeah. I know that there's a way to get to this edit. Oh, here's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna do default. So then we've got a status page here for whatever we want to build out. Right now, we've just got like one thing being monitored, right? So not really going to have a lot of data in here, but it's super easy to build out a very nice looking status page for this. And we can click over and hover over some of this. We can see uptime's 100% right there. I dig it. Let's come back over to here. Survey. So survey, this is how you can add stuff into an app, I believe. Create a feed now. Yeah, this was kind of beyond what I was interested in as far as the surveys were concerned. I spent some time with it, just not a lot. Okay, so feed, add channel, webhook signature, notification. We don't have any notifications created, so let's do that. Let's actually come in here and click on create notification. Let's see, profile, notification workspace. Really, notification. Okay, here we go. So notifications, you got some different options, whether it's email, SMTP, AppRise, Telegram, Fishu, and Webhook. What's cool about AppRise, with it supports 90 plus services, you can very, very easily use Godify for this. So we're just gonna say Godify. And then if we pop this open, right, here are all of the different services that you can use to get notifications from your setup. So 104 currently. So if we come over here and click on Godify, we can see kind of what the syntax is going to look like for all of that. So we can use Godify, Godify S, hostname, port, token, or just hostname and token. All kinds of different options here depending on what your setup looks like. After doing some testing with my setup earlier, I know that I need the Godify S. So I'm just going to put that in there. Now I need a host name and a token. So let me go get that. Again, some of the stuff I just have to do off screen, and I apologize. Apps, let's do create application. We'll do TJ Live, like so, and click create. So I'm just going to paste this in here. I'm going to clean this up and then copy this and click test, operate success. Great. So now we've got that set up. And if I go into if I go into here, we can see the Godify is working just fine for that. So we're all good to go as far as that's concerned. So now if we want to, we can come back into here and we can click on edit and select monitor, and we can start doing things. Oops, that's not really what I wanted to do. That's fine, whatever. But we should be able to then add, that's a different kind of report. Monitor, sorry, let's look in here. I think this will be better. There we go. Notification, there we go. And we can get notified via Godify and click save. So now if the site goes down, Godify should notify me that that site is down. And then what was this? Notification, Godify. So I guess if you had a webhook that you needed to use, you could do that. Notification frequency. Let's do this, I guess. Oh, so for every okay, so this is getting feeds. Okay. And this will determine anytime there's an event, basically, it will shoot a notification for every event, every day, every week, every month. You should get notified based on that criteria. So that's what's going on there. That's and of course we go back to like let's take a look here. There we go. So this is our dashboard. So Kudu says, sorry, I just hopped into the stream. No worries, man. Glad to have you here. I don't know how long we're going to be here. Just doing some testing at the moment. But Tianji is something we talked about Saturday briefly and almost looked at it Sunday. Basically, it is an all-in-one insight hub with website analytics, uptime monitor, and server status. And we just kind of jumped in here to take a look at what that setup process looks like, and kind of go through it, see if there's anything that jumps out as being difficult or cantankerous or whatever the case happens to be. If we come over to here, we can click on view details and we can get some good information about visitors. Like that's just a standard like kind of like Google Analytics alternative, but what's cool about it is that there's no cookie tracking. So they don't request consent for cookies because there isn't any. It is GDPR and CCPA compliant. It's open source. It's community driven. Pretty cool project here. We just had to go through and make some changes to their GitHub or to their Docker Compose file in order to get it to work appropriately. Because of an open API token environment variable that wasn't playing nice with what we were doing. So yeah, we've just been kind of playing with that for the last hour or so, just kind of going through and setting it up again, making sure that everything's doing what we want it to do. We've currently got 3 visitors on dbtechreview.com. But I'm pretty sure that the good chunk of that is me. I'm going to click save. I don't need that in there. So just kind of doing some cleanup at this point. So that's been updated. So if I remove this, now that is gone, of course. Let's click edit. Sorry, I'm going to scroll down, and then close that like so. Cool. I just wanted to clean that up. It was going to drive me nuts. So that's that. So that tracking is gone. This is our status page that we made for that one website where we can see things like, current latency. That's the word I'm looking for, is latency. So let's come back over to here. So yeah, that's basically it, man. I think this is actually a pretty cool project. If we look at their GitHub repository over here, they've got a roadmap. So they've got website analysis, monitor. So there is some stuff in here like UTM tracking. So that's like if you had a campaign, you could put in a UTM string so that people would know that was part of the campaign for creators or advertising or whatever the case is, if you're not familiar with UTM strings. Surveys. So they're working on a survey page, which I appreciate. Again, the way it's currently set up is it's not ready for prime time, so to speak. Lighthouse reports. I'm genuinely not sure what a Lighthouse report is, and I saw it up here. Monitor, no. Servers, telemetry, no. Pages, survey, nope. Where is it? I saw it somewhere. I know I did. View details. Here we go. Create report. I don't know. It will take a while to generate this report. HTTPS dbtechreviews.com. Create. Cool. I don't know what that's going to do. I'm definitely curious. But yeah, so I guess I'll just let that run for a while and do that. And of course, as soon as I said that, man, let's take a look at this report. Hey, wow, okay. All right, that's pretty cool. And it gives you, wow, kind of like it's like an old school website grader kind of thing. That's pretty cool. 100% of my SEO, you're damn right it is. But it gives all kinds of things that you can improve. So I dig that. That's the first time I've done a Lighthouse report, but that's built in, so that's great. So yeah, that is Tianji kind of in a nutshell, so to speak. I just wanted to get an idea. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Just wanted to give a quick run through on it again to see if there was anything in there that was, like I said, overtly difficult to work with or set up or configure. And they've done a great job getting Tianji set up. RK, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Forsaken One says, sorry, I'm late. What is this for? The stream initially started out just to make sure that I could get Streamlabs OBS desktop to work with a multi-stream setup for YouTube and Twitch, and it did, and I'm stoked, which means I will pay for that versus Restream.io. So wanted to take a look at that, and I figured while we were here, we could take a look at Tianji Live. Tianji, which is this. If we come back over to here. We kind of talked about this Saturday and a little bit Sunday, but basically website analytics, uptime monitor, server status, and more. And we just kind of dug through, not really much on the website, but just kind of going through and installing it via Docker over here in Cloudflare or in Portainer. Got remote access to it through Cloudflare, that sort of thing. So here's the thing, right? My goal, my thought is this, right? Like once a week, early in the week, like today, my thought was that I could pick a project and kind of go through it in a live stream, just for the sake of testing it out, checking to see kind of, like we did today, how much of a pain in the butt is it going to be to deploy? And then I've kind of got my head wrapped around the project itself. It gives me a chance to chat with you guys and hang out a bit while I'm doing that. You guys can kind of see the behind the scenes stuff that I'm doing to test some of these services out and troubleshoot some of the issues that I run into. And then probably tomorrow or Wednesday, I will sit my butt right back in this chair and make a video, like an actual tutorial video about Tianji for the YouTube. So it's kind of a way to engage with you guys and show you my process, but also make sure that I'm up to speed on the project before I actually make the official DB Tech video about said service. So that's kind of my plan. I've been kind of kicking that around a little bit. I'm wanting to do a lot more live stream stuff this year. I've failed miserably about that or with doing that, and I'm trying to find a way that I can make live streams beneficial for everybody, not just like, hey, let's hang out and let's talk about whatever you guys bring to the table. This way I can say, hey, look, I want to cover Tianji in this live stream, and we can kind of go through it together, and you guys can ask questions and that sort of thing. But that's kind of my goal, my thought. I'd love to know what you guys think, of course. But that's kind of where my head's working with me right now, where I can make a live stream functional, besides just hanging out, but actually showing you guys kind of the behind the scenes on what I'm doing, and then I can get up to speed and I can make a decent video, in theory, about the project. So RK has asked a couple of times now, have you seen Pangolin? It's a Cloudflare tunnel alternative, but self-hosted. Even GUI looks almost the same. I have not. Before I do that, though, I do want to come over to here. I want to do apps. Sorry, just wanting to delete some stuff there. Pangolin self-hosted tunneled reverse proxy management. Okay, that's interesting. I have not seen this. Wow, it really does look the same though, doesn't it? God, it looks so much the same. I would be surprised if they don't get a talking to. Definitely going to take a look at this. Pangolin is a self-hosted tunneled reverse proxy management server with identity and access management designed to securely expose private resources through the use with traffic reverse proxy and WireGuard tunnels like Newt. With Pangolin, you retain full control of your infrastructure while providing a user-friendly and feature-rich solution for managing proxies, authentication, and access, and simplifying complex network setups, all with a clean and simple UI. Interesting. Yeah, definitely interested in this because I'm definitely curious about. Let's look at this. Pangolin gerbil traffic. Okay, so that means they are, and that's kind of what I was wondering. They are using traffic as a reverse proxy, which is going to involve port forwarding. I would assume it would basically have to involve port forwarding in order for this to work. But I think it's an interesting idea, so I'm definitely going to take a look at it. Let's see. Connor says, last question, is there any benefit to manually setting my gluten VPN to a specific location? No, there's none at all. Okay. I say that and I immediately backtrack. So, if there's a specific location that's going to have a lower latency for what you're doing, setting your location can be beneficial in that regard. But besides that, no. I just let my gluten do whatever it's going to do in the background, and it served me well. Spectacular Austin says, sorry, I haven't been in streams and Discord chats. I've been busy. No worries, man. Life gets at all of us, man. So I'm stoked that you're here. Hopefully you can join us in Discord. That would be amazing. But yeah, no, we're just hanging out. We're trying something new today. So yeah, no worries. Let's see. Kuda says, what do you think of the GL iNet GLA1300? I don't know. And I say that because I don't think I've used one. Let me double check. Maybe I have. Maybe I have. Let me do this over here. I don't want to get myself in trouble. GL. Oh yeah, I actually have reviewed that and taken a look at it. In fact, now that I think about it, I've actually used it. It was great. Copy link address. Yeah. So like that's the video that I made about it. And if I remember, I remember really liking the device. I used it once so I was staying at a relative's house when I went back to visit family years ago, and their Wi-Fi was garbage, just atrocious. Like I couldn't even watch like YouTube videos. I couldn't watch Netflix. I couldn't watch anything because their Wi-Fi was so bad. So I plugged this into their modem and set up my own temporary Wi-Fi network for the sake of having better Wi-Fi than them. But yeah, no, it was great. I did get the chat sorted, Alexia. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I wanted to try something different, sort of today. So yes, the last two live streams we did Saturday and Sunday, I used Restream.io and it was fine. But Streamlabs OBS or Streamlabs Desktop OBS, whatever, is a bit more expensive, but does everything I want it to do, and I'm willing I'm willing to take that hit for the sake of simplicity, so that I can do more live streams. I want to do more live streams. So yeah, so the point of today was to make sure that that was working, and I figured while we're here, we'll try something a little different. We took a look at Tianji, just kind of going through that setup process, just to see if there was any hang-ups or anything like that, and it all went really well. So now I feel comfortable making a video about it, and I think I want to keep doing that. Like maybe like once a week, we'll pick a project, or I'll pick a project, or you guys can pick a project. Somebody will pick a project, and we will just blow through it here on live stream. We'll chat about it. We'll work out any bugs or answer any questions or dig into whatever needs to be dug into, and then I can actually have a full idea of what needs to go into the video when I make the tutorial covering that project later on. So that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, I would love to get your guys' opinion on that as well. Spent my whole Xmas vacation outside tinkering with my first home server. That's awesome. I'm glad the videos were helpful. We have open sense after reading. I rewrite after posting. Make a great access point for your network. Just make sure you have the set. Yep. I have a good one for you question-wise. Okay. Project on the stream. All right. So definitely interested in Forsaken One's question. Alexia says, can't wait for the video. I think it's a good idea to show a project on the stream, then you can cover our questions in the video. That's kind of what I was shooting for. So, and I think that's going to help me do two different things. One, again, like I said, it's going to make live streams more beneficial for everyone. The last few have just been kind of like hanging out and chatting, which I love, I really do. But if I don't have a topic, there's no topic, right? And it's just everything is just, it is what it is. But I think if I've got a project coming into this, like, hey, in this live stream, we're going to take a look at this, we're going to dig through it, we're going to answer questions, and then I can kind of take all of that and go back and make an actual tutorial video out of it. I know it seems like maybe I'm trying to double dip on a piece of content, but I'm trying to engage you guys as well to get your questions to try to make my content better as I'm creating the actual videos. So Forsaken One's question is, if you were starting a new home network NAS, what hardware would you choose? Man, that is a big question. I mean, a lot of that's going to depend on budget, right? Like, so for a long time, I would have said, I would go with like a TP-Link setup, but of course, there's an issue with TP-Link at this point. I have 3 different routers that I need to test. 2 of them actually came from Synology, and one of them came from ASUS. The ASUS is actually a badass setup in that it has like Wi-Fi 7 and it has like multi-gig connectivity. It's got like a 10 gig in and out and like a 2.5 gig in and out, or like, what is it, 4 2.5 gig LAN ports. Like it's got all kind. I would probably start there. For a couple of reasons, I would start there because it's got the multi-gig connectivity, which is great, but it can also do, like if you've got 2 of them, for instance, you can have like one in the front of your house and one in the back of your house, and they can work together to kind of as a mesh solution. But you can actually have a wired backhaul between them, so you don't have to use a Wi-Fi connection between them. And by doing that, you can set, like, if I were to put one in the living room and one in here, I could have this one set up as a backhaul for that, and then have separate VLANs on both devices, and then break out from there with additional stuff. So I'd probably go that route for my networking, if I just wanted something basic. As far as compute power, again, depending on budget, as cheap as you can. Oof. If I were to go, okay, so I would still stick with that. I think it's a great router that will last a while. It's got Wi-Fi 7. It's got multi-gig. It's kind of expensive. It's, I think, $400, or it was last time I looked at it. From there, I would look at my compute unit for my mini PC, because I would absolutely go with a mini PC for the majority of everything, as far as self-hosting, like applications and that sort of thing. The Beelink IQ13, I think, is what it was, that I sent to Jay Collins, one of my mods. It's like a couple $100, and it's got an N200 processor in it, that handles video transcoding really well. I might set that up. I've definitely set it up for my Docker instance or my Proxmox setup, because you can then pass the iGPU on that through to a Plex instance and use that for transcoding. And then I would set up just an inexpensive NAS. Like I've got some TerraMaster devices that would be perfect. I've got a little 2-bay NAS down there. You can go with a 4-bay, and be set relatively inexpensively, and then set your storage, like all your big storage, to be on that, and then use like an NFS share or an SMB share for like your home server, like your home, like your Plex, for example. Keep all of your media on that NAS device, and then just map drives over to the mini PC and let it transcode. That's probably the route I would go. I wouldn't want to spend like $5,000. Yeah, I wouldn't want to spend that much either. So I've got an F223, I think, that was my Plex server for a couple of years, and it worked fine, as long as I was doing everything local. Now, when you start talking about letting other people outside your network transcode, that complicates things a little bit. But for local direct play and even local transcoding, most of the new TerraMaster stuff is going to be great for that. But that's probably where I would start. Would be, I would start with a router that's got Wi-Fi 7. I would get a mini PC like the Beelink EQ13, because it's got it's a very low power, high performance N200 chip for the price. And then I would set up an inexpensive NAS for data storage. That's what I would start with anyway. So yeah, I think that's what I would do. That was on YouTube. And some of this stuff is really, really slow. What is going on here? Oh, here we go. I don't have a fam outside my network that watches Plex. You do have a few fam outside my network that watches Plex. Yeah. So in that case, you got to decide how to handle that, because that's a different ball of worms or whatever, when you get into that. Just because unless you've both got a really good network connection, there's going to be a fair amount of transcoding that's going to have to happen when you're shooting over to someone else's house. Again, like the MSO1, again, is going to be $700 or $800, unless you can find a used one, or I guess you could get a refurbished workstation and do something like that. It wouldn't be as low powered, but then you could throw a GPU in that fairly straightforwardly, if that's a word, and handle your transcoding that way. That would be an option as well. You can get like a Quadro. Ooh, good catch. You can get decent little transcoding cards relatively inexpensively. Like I bought a Quadro a while back for $60 or $70. I've got an Intel Sparkle GPU, which sounds dumb to even say, but it actually transcodes really well as also. Thanks. I'm surprised anybody saw me catch that. But the Dell XPS from 2011 with an M2000 GPU, rock on. That's great. So yeah, if you wanted to go that route, then you could really cut your budget down by going secondhand, which is probably the better option anyway, even if you're probably going to sacrifice power efficiency for that. So lots of different options on ways you could handle all of that. But but yeah, so that's kind of I guess just a brief shot in the dark there. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna there we go. Um, so yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Just there's so many different ways you could go. Um, Depending on your budget, depending on what your needs are, depending on what your, whatever, so many different options on ways to go with that. Um, so yeah, let me see. Sorry, I just spacing for a minute. I think I need more coffee, um, but yeah, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to go through this Tianji thing. Thank you for where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Thank you to RK for pointing me towards Pangolin. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. That looks amazing. Really stoked about that. Couple of different options there. It looks like server. Wow. Okay. Oh, email. Wow. So we may actually take a look at that in another live stream. Probably not this week. I think I just want to do one of these live streams each week, and then make a video about it, and then do another video, another live stream, just kind of a hangout live stream. I don't know. We're gonna figure this out as we go. But I like doing this where we can dig into a project. And we can all kind of dig into it together. I think what I'm going to have to do though is set specific times. I gotta come up with a schedule of when I'm going to stream. I think that's going to be a huge help. But yeah, I think that's going to be the plan, is to do at least one of these streams per week, and then a video, and then maybe just kind of a hangout live stream. I don't know, but definitely that. Was I late back? I mean, Brennan, we're still here for now. I'm getting ready to wrap things up though. Let's see. Nighthawk says an R720 will use 200 to 300 watts continuously and could be louder than you expect. Yeah, I believe that. When will the next live stream be? I don't know. And I don't like that answer. Because what I want to do is, it'll probably be this weekend. So like, I want to do a couple of live streams a week and a video a week. So that's like three things, and that's not a big deal. But I may also start doing more live streaming with Ethan Shawley from the Self-Host newsletter and YouTube channel and that sort of thing. We've talked about doing some more stuff together on a more regular basis. So we're gonna finish this live stream. I'm gonna make a video about Tianji, and then I don't know. Sometime later this week, I got to figure it out. Got to look what my schedule looks like, and then I'm gonna try to actually put something in place so that you guys know when you can expect me, rather than these random things I've been doing. Can you re-watch the live once it goes offline? Probably. I will probably. These live streams on YouTube will probably be unlisted once they're done. But if you've got this URL, you should be able to watch it, or you can go over to Twitch. I think Twitch will have the VOD as well. Let's do. The problem with YouTube though is that, let's see, English about DB Tech. Panels. God, I really need to edit some of this. Let's remove that. That's fine. Let's get rid of that. But that's strange. I don't know why it doesn't have my VODs. That's weird. I don't know. If you go back to my social media, you should be able to find where my bot shared this live stream, and you should be able to go back and watch it there. I got to figure out what my plan is for that. I don't entirely know yet, but yeah. So that's where I think things are going to get wrapped up here today. I've still got a bunch of stuff I got to do. I got to go pick up the kid in a little while. I need to do some stuff around the house. So yeah, I think. Oh, Eric asks a good question. What are your top favorite Docker applications in 2024? That's going to be a video, I think. Tim, Techno Tim, just did a video about his home lab early 2025. I may do something similar, but I've got one last thing that I'm doing with the HL15 that I want to get that wrapped up before I do anything else. It should be published on your YouTube channel for people to watch. Yeah, unless I take the VOD down. I haven't decided what I'm going to do there. I may just leave them up. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all of that out. But we'll get through it together. I believe that. So yeah. I think with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to get some stuff figured out. And just kind of figure out what the long-term goal is here and how we're going to do this together as a community. So thank you guys to everybody who showed up and has been hanging out and chatting. I really do appreciate you. But I'm gonna go back in the house, hang out with the wife for a little bit, pick up the kid, and kind of go on with my day and think about all of the stuff we've talked about. So hope you have a great rest of your today, and I'll chat with you again here real soon. Again, next time we'll probably be in the video talking about Tianji and how to deploy it. So again, thanks so